It's randomly moving north, south, east, west, just random, just stopping, going the other direction, like you could do with a helicopter, but a little bit more abrupt. It looks like a 40-foot-long Tic Tac with no wings.
It's fascinating. A flying Tic Tac. That's how one Navy pilot described the UFO he encountered. Welcome to Full Circle. I'm Anderson Cooper. President Trump and separately a group of senators have all been briefed on recent UFO sightings by Navy pilots. I'll speak with the pilot who saw that so-called Tic Tac, and he'll take your questions as well, so you can comment with those. I also want to know if you believe in UFOs, so weigh in on that and share this or show it with your most out-of-this-world friend. I'll get you final results, what everyone says, before the end of Full Circle, the Full Circle interview. A group of U.S. senators received a classified briefing on UFOs, the military confirmed late today. Now, it comes after a recent series of reported encounters by U.S. Navy pilots with unidentified aircraft. Take a look at one encounter by an F-15 pilot off the Atlantic coast back in 2015.
My gosh. We're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude. That's not our LNS, though, is it? It's not. That is an LNS, dude. Well, if there's like... Look at that thing. It's rotating.
Well, in a recent interview on ABC, President Trump confirmed that he's been briefed as well, but also expressed skepticism.
I did have one very brief meeting on it, but people are saying they're seeing UFOs. Do I believe it? Not particularly.
Joining me now is retired Navy pilot, Commander David Fravor, who encountered an unidentified flying object himself. David, can you just walk us through what you saw with this unidentified aircraft?
I sure can, Anderson. Thanks. But, the video was taken after there was four of us in the two jets that visually tracked it for over 5 minutes. We watched it. I engaged it. It knew of our awareness. It came up at us as we were coming down, kind of in a clockwise flow. I cut across the middle of the circle, and as I got within a half mile, it rapidly accelerated and disappeared.
Wow. So you say it knew of you. How can you tell that? Because it came toward you?
Yeah, it actually mimicked our movements. So we were up at about 20,000 feet in a right-hand turn, and as I got to about the 12 o'clock position, if you think of a clock, and it's sitting at the middle, just kind of randomly going back and forth over this white water in the ocean. And as soon as I got to the 12 o'clock, it kind of abruptly turned and started going in a clockwise flow. So it's coming uphill in a right-hand turn, and we're going down in a right-hand turn. And we went all the way around until I got to about the 8 o'clock position on the clock, and it was opposite circle. So the best way to catch it, like we know as kids, just cut across the middle of the circle. So I cut across the middle of the circle, and right as I started to pull nose onto it, because I was trying to get as close as possible to see what it was, it just rapidly accelerated across my nose, disappeared. The other plane was about 8,000 feet above, watching the whole thing. It disappeared for them too, so you got two different angles, and it just rapidly accelerated and was gone in less than a second.
So did you have eyes on it, or were you seeing it all through, I don't know if it's radar or whatever other technology you have?
Totally eyes on, all four of us. The radar, we never got a radar hit on it. The only regret I have the whole day is we have a joint helmet that has a camera inside of the helmet that sits up here. And I didn't have that on. We usually don't use them because they don't buy a lot unless you're staring at something holding your head still. So if you've ever seen someone with a GoPro on their head and they're moving it a lot, it gets kind of nauseating to watch. So we usually turn that on.
So what did it actually look like? And how close did you actually get to it?
Well, we started at 20,000 feet, and it was above the surface. And then as we came down, when it was all said and done, I got within a half mile of it. And just estimated on fighter size, I was pretty experienced at the time with 16 years of flying. And it was about the size of the fuselage of a Hornet. So that's how we estimate 40 feet.
Wow.
So just white, no wings, no rotors, no nothing.
Really? No, nothing? Just like a Tic Tac?
Just like a Tic Tac. That's why we call it the Tic Tac.
So do you have any idea how it actually, what the propulsion of it was?
No, I would speculate some type of non-reactive propulsion, i.e. it was manipulating gravity, but that's just my personal speculation on how it was maneuvering. Because it has, if you look at the video that's playing, there's no plumes. Normally you'd see if there was an engine, you'd see a big plume coming out of one side, you'd see heat signature. This thing maintains the same temperature all around the object.
One of our viewers, Karen, wants to know, what do you believe it was that you saw?
If you'd asked me in 2004, I wouldn't know where it was developed. I knew it wasn't ours. I didn't feel it was ours. We have a tendency not to test in areas where we're doing operations like that just because of safety. Now, almost 15 years later, that technology, no one still knows what it was or how it was powered. I'd really question. It'd be hard to keep something that would change mankind if you had a non-reactive propulsion system that you could use on just about anything. It would change. It would change life as we know it.
How do you mean that? Like, in what way would it change? My knowledge of science is extremely limited, or any kind of engine. So, what kind of impact would that have?
Well, if you look at, we'll just use SpaceX. We're happy. They finally can bring a motor down and land it back on a launch pad. You have technology like this, all that becomes obsolete. And to us, that's new technology. Be able to recover a booster like that using propulsion and bring it back down where you can reuse it. If you've got something like this, you can go up, down. These things remember, they were coming down for about the 10 days or 14 days prior to us actually being airborne, because there was never airplanes airborne, that the Princeton tracked up to 10 of them coming down from above 80,000 feet. They'd come screaming down. They'd sit at 20,000 feet for a few hours, and then they'd go straight back up. We have nothing that has the energy available to be able to do that.
The Navy confirmed to us late today that they did, in fact, brief senators yesterday, saying it was, quote, to provide a classified brief on efforts to understand and identify these threats, the safety and security of our aviators. I'm wondering what you make of that. I mean, did you feel threatened? How did you, it's so fascinating to me. I can't even imagine what it would be like to be seeing this and kind of engaging with it.
Well, to us, it was, that's our job when we're out there. And so it wasn't for my point, it wasn't fear. It was really curiosity on how close I could get to it, because I'd never seen anything like that. As far as the Navy goes and bringing this out and changing the reporting process, I think it's important. I also think it's important that not only that you change the reporting process, but what do you do with it when people do report these? Because the East Coast sightings, which is the video that's on the gimbal where it rotates and the people are talking, that was common knowledge on the East Coast that these things were sitting off the eastern seaboard of the United States in the warning areas where all the jets that come out of Naval Air Station Oceana go and we train out there. To see that something out there that you're worried about hitting, or you're seeing these objects and nothing's done about it, I think it's important that we report it.
So you were saying this was well known. I assume you mean in the flying community, in the military community.
Yes.
For how long a period? And then there was more than one of these objects?
Well, talking to some of the guys that actually, one of the guys that was on the flight where they shot the video, it was almost a year from between 2014 2015 during their workups, and you got all the planes that are going out there that aren't going to the carrier that we just train out there. That it was a significant amount, like upwards of 60 people had either seen something on their radar or got it on a targeting FLIR, and they've released 2 of those videos. So I can't speculate on who else did what, because I don't know, but I just know for a fact there was more than just a few people that saw these things on radar.
So, I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but is it correct to say that you do believe that this was something not from this Earth?
I would say it's a technology that if we had it and we're hiding it, then I would ask why, because this would change transportation. Everything that we've known, like the Concorde, of being able to come across in hours, and they're looking at that new hypersonic, this changes the whole game as long as the human body can withstand the forces if you've got this technology.
Yeah.
And by the looks of it, I don't know how it operates, but I'd say it's pretty green. It's not putting out any exhaust, so
wow.
It's another wave of the future.
It's fascinating hearing this from you, Commander. I appreciate you taking the time, and obviously, it's just amazing. I'm not even sure what to make of it, but it's pretty incredible. Thanks very much for telling us about your experience.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
All right, you take care. Want to move on to 3 things. At the top of the program, I asked whether you believe in UFOs. 67% of you said yes. 33% of you said no. I'm not sure where I stand on this, but listening to that commander I thought it was really fascinating. Be curious to see what you thought. Do you believe him? He seemed to have seen what he saw. A lot of people did.